My name's Rusty Sitton. I'm the Redneck boat guy. I build two-cylinder racing outboard boats. I build the props to go on them, and we also sell a 33-foot catamaran named See Y'all Later. Hope you enjoy the channel. Well, pulled out a prop that I hadn't worked on in a while. This is a Yamato 80 wheel. It's a little bit of a big hub design too. I don't know if you can see it. Got a little bit bigger hub on it than some. And what that does, and I meant to speak on this before, but what a big hub does, and this isn't as big as I've seen some of them, is it increases the transom lift right here. Remember I told you you could put extra pitch right there and it would jack that motor out of the water with leverage right there. Well, a big hub helps that a little bit. It makes it run a little bit higher on the back end. Well, I have worked, when Dudley Malone was selling out a couple of years ago, whatever, I went and looked through his box and I picked this one out primarily because it was a Yamato wheel and it had the big hub. Ran it against our stuff, and we had stuff that was better. But it was a stock DeWalt, and I wanted to, at the time, I didn't know, where I stood as far as being comparative to a good DeWalt prop. And, Dudley said, of course, everything Dudley's got's the best there ever was, but Dudley said this was a very good hydro wheel. So I paid him pretty good money for it, especially for a used prop. But I wanted to know, and I've reworked it once. I've put some acceleration curve in it, a little bit here, and I've got a little bit of acceleration curve here. But what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna increase that a little bit. I'm gonna bring that leading edge up and try to get more acceleration out of it. It's about a 10 and on the front, and that's what I had, that's what I had always kind of been thinking was right. But I've since learned I can go with a little bit less pitch right here, increase my punch without hurting my top end. So I'm going to bring that up just a little bit more, maybe get, like I say, that'll reduce the cross section of the prop a little bit. So I'm going to piddle around and do some of that. Let's see here. Nope, I didn't bring my glove in, so I'll just use this towel here. Keep from beating my hands up too bad or cutting them. I did some thinning on this wheel. It was pretty thick, and I like a thin wheel, especially on the leading edges. I think it accelerates better. This prop's still pretty thick. Having to beat on it pretty hard here to get anything to move. Yeah, that brought it up a little bit. That's going around. Let's see, that's blade 1. Let's get on blade 2 here. Doesn't take a whole lot. And again, I'm bending it real deep up in the blade so that it doesn't have a kink right there on the end of it. Yeah, it's coming, but it's not enough. I guess that's one of the tricks of working props is realizing, if you bend it enough or not, or seeing under the hammer, all right, that moved or that didn't. And the only way you get that is from messing with it. If I'm good at anything, what I'd like to say I'm good at is taking information from people and listening to the right folks. I think if you listen to the right people, you'll get the right information. And that's something, I guess, one of my successes, I believe, has been that I was lucky enough to be around some of what I consider really great people in life. First one comes to mind is Woody Leon. When you can take a 175cc single cylinder Can-Am dirt bike and bring it to Bonneville and run 175 miles an hour with it, you know a little bit of something. And he used to build all of Lewis Williams Pro engines and man knows what he's doing. I mean, he designed the expansion chamber, of course, on our Mod 102. So very interesting fellow. I think I've been lucky enough to listen to the right people, or been around the right people and listened to them, and been able to. Yeah, I'm not good at thinking stuff up, but I'm really good at deciding. Okay, well, I think that's the right answer, or that's the right thing. That's the right person to listen to. So, oh, there's something to that about not only in boat racing but in life. You got heroes that have meant something to you, and I think your success is nothing more than a culmination of who your heroes were. What it is for me, I can tell you, because I mean, I didn't think all this business up. I found out from the right people what works, and I've repeated that. Of course, gleaning the correct information, I think, is as important as anything from anybody. Is listening to the right information out of people, because everybody's got ideas and they're not always right. But if you're smart enough to recognize the ones that are, even the worst guys got it. Even the guy that puts out information that usually you can't count on, I guarantee you he knows some stuff you don't know. Yeah, that is right. So just because somebody says something wrong one time, don't dismiss him. Don't say, well, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I ain't listening to that. One of the things that Woody Leon is he was kind of a what would you say? He could be hard to get along with. Not everybody got along with him, but I didn't care if he was brusque or if he was. I respected the man for the information he had, for what he knew. Your mentors in life. I've got a business mentor in my life that literally changed my world. I listened to the right people. Right. There's a guy that told me one time. He said, he was teaching me how to do a program called Primavera, and I called him one time and said, hey, I'm going to be a good student. I said, you won't have to tell me but 3 times, and I got it. And he said, really? Because that's kind of unusual. When you've got somebody that'll listen to you and wants the information that you have, that will help you. It feels good that what you're putting your effort toward is meaning something. And I had some of those in my life, in several, like I say, areas. Some of them, in the business world, and a lot of them in the boat race world as well. Man, I'm looking forward to going and seeing David Baker. The weather is getting such that it looks like we'll be able to get together here shortly. I hadn't called David again, but we will be hooking up, and I've got some really interesting questions, I think, or things I've always wanted to know about hydros, and really never have got to sit with David much and just talk about things, spend some time and figuring out some of the stuff. As I said, I think I'm good at listening to people that know what they're talking about and gleaning the correct information out of it. And in my life, I've been able, like I say, I've been lucky to go and listen to the right people, and I'm fixing to get with one of those there very shortly, David Baker. Yeah, I'm gonna sit around and beat on this prop a little while, trying to improve the prop box again. I've got a little more thinning I want to do to it. I can see that I have thinned it, but I left it a little bit rough. So I need to get me a new ball caliper. My calipers died on me. So that's the way I check thickness, is I'll run it up 1/8 of an inch on there and check it all the way. Then I'll run it 1/4 inch, and I'll run it 1/2 inch all the way around. And that's how I get all the prop the same. Doing that, all the way up here to the core of the prop, I found that, man, once you do that and you check the balance is right. So I've been real lucky, and say lucky. I think it works really good to do thickness measurements. Start out about 30 thousandths and go to about 100 thousandths, something like that. And that's what's been working for me. But anyway, looking forward to going and seeing David. I'm gonna call him here in the next little while, and we'll go visit with him. I'm real interested about non-trip design and air traps on the hydro. I've really never been around anybody that, I built hydros with Jimmy Campisi. But Jimmy didn't know, he wasn't a boat racer. Where me and Jimmy got our hydro, what would you call it, who we looked up to as far as hydros, was Rusty Bonin had a couple of Fresnel Flyers that I really liked the deck design on. And so if you look at a Campisi boat, they look a lot like a Fresnel Flyer along the cockpit walls, how it's got a big roll to it like that, and it's a little bit thick in the middle. But it's also got some hemp ideas to it, because another one of the racers that was around our area is, of course, he's gone now, but Jerry Nunez, Jerry ran Hemps, and that was a pretty popular boat back in the day. And I think Jerry could have run a clawfoot bathtub with one of John Snell's 20H's on it and beat most of us. That's the way Jerry was. But yeah, that's what you do, is you look and see what people are using and what seems to be working out there, and just repeat that effort. Maybe carry it on out a little bit further with the information, that you think you figured out a little bit, and go with that. It's boat racing ain't nothing magic, but it does take some work to get it right. Not just beating on props, but getting out there and testing, man, and trying stuff, and seeing what works. It also takes a little bit of luck. I found that out. A lot of times you can get lucky and come up on something that works out for you, and I think that's been part of my success there as well. Is I've been pretty lucky, and the first time that I set something up, it seems to work out pretty good. I guess it's because I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm researching and looking and thinking, well, I like this about that boat or that prop, and I guess just thinking about it, spending your time doing the thing that it takes to figure it out. Say, I don't know nothing more than anybody else, but I think if you, just like Mama told us when we were a kid, what matters most is the people you're around. And man, that's not just in life, but in any sport. That if you listen to the right folks and do the right thing, chances are you get what they got. You'll be as successful as they are. But anyway, keep beating on this Malone wheel here. Bring it up to, and these tips were laid back a little bit. So I'm putting a little acceleration curve in it here, and I'm bringing it out more toward the tips. I don't know if you can see it, but this one doesn't go all the way back to here, with the acceleration curve. It kind of stops right here. So I'm going to continue that on around and see if I can get it to doing what we want to do out there on the race course. Thank you for watching.